Betty and myself some years ago. I didn't have as much white hair as I have now, but it's really my pleasure to share this business with you. We started this business 24 years ago for one simple reason: to make extra income. You know, when I was growing up as a boy, my father used to tell me, "Son, go to school, get a good education, and get a good job with the government." And because the town that we lived in, there were some contractors who were making a lot of money. So my dad thought that, "Son, if you do civil engineering, you're going to be very, very rich." So dutifully, I went and did civil engineering at the University of Nairobi. And then, you know, when a young man finishes college, he starts searching around. And after I finished, 2 years later, my eye fell on Betty. And as I said, the rest is history. When the man and woman gets together, there's natural expansion, and then children come along. So we moved to South Africa to have a better life. We moved specifically I wanted to continue my studies and also to look for work, because at that time, South Africa was just opening up for their borders for international or foreign workers. So I came to South Africa to study and to work. But when I came here, I enrolled to do a postgraduate course in construction management. After I finished my course, spending 2 additional years and an extra $4,000 in fees, there was not a single increase in my salary, and that really frustrated me. I began to think that we may have made a mistake to leave our country, Kenya, to come and work in South Africa. So I told Betty, "Look, let's think of something to do at home to supplement my income." Secondly, because we were foreigners in South Africa, Betty could not get a job. She's a trained science teacher. And I remember when we came here, she applied for a job in all the English-speaking schools in Pretoria, and she couldn't get a job. And I remember so well that in 1996, around February, she was tired of looking for a job, and she said, "I've looked for a job long enough. Let the job come and find me at home." 2 weeks after she made that statement, a friend of ours called Jen Kibera called Betty and said, "Betty, I know you have a sick child, but I think there's a business you can run from your house that will enable you to look after the family, but also earn some extra income." And 2 days later, they came to our house, they explained the business. When I saw the business for the first time, being an engineer, I am attracted to numbers. I made a simple calculation: what would happen if you followed a very simple process of introducing 3 people to the business every month? And when I made the calculation, the number was 16.9 million people. I thought I made a mistake. I removed the batteries from my calculator, checked the terminals, did the calculation again, and I found that it was true. Figures don't lie. So that for me was enough. I told Betty, even if 10% of what you're saying is true, it is worth pursuing. That's how we started the business. I remember our first check was about, I think, $3. But that for me confirmed what they told us in the meeting. I began to build the business with such intensity. Within 7 months, our income reached $1,000 a month. When that happened, I told Betty that this business is going to be my full-time career. So we kept building it. We kept building. After 3 years, the income from the business was 3 times my salary. And then I fired my boss. That has been our journey. God has blessed our business. It's grown in Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Nigeria, South Africa, Botswana, Lesotho. We've got people in the US. We've got people in Sweden. We've got people in Australia. And we started here in Pretoria. That is the beauty about our business. So in the next half an hour, those of you who are guests, I'm going to share with you the idea about this business. And 2, to give you a background on where we stand around the world because of the COVID-19. First, I need to make a few comments. The first, this business is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not a business that you start today and get rich immediately. It takes time to build it. We say our business is a 2 to 5 year plan. What do we mean? We mean that within a 2 to 5 year plan, if you work consistently in the business and you're open to learning, between 2 to 5 years, you'll be financially independent. Financial independence means that if your current income stops, you don't panic, because the income you're going to be earning from this business will be able to meet your family needs. That is the first thing. It's not a get rich quick, it takes time. The other thing before I move to the next issue is, this is not a 40-40-N plan. What is a 40-40-N plan? 40-40-N plan means you work 40 hours a week and you work for 40 years and you end up with nothing. Last week, a friend of ours was telling us that she had just gone into pension, and the pension is not even 3/4 of what she was earning as a salary. And that's really frightening. So don't expect this business to be a 40-40-N plan. That means you're going to work for 40 years, 40 hours a week, and you end up with nothing. The next thing I'd like to mention is, this is not a pyramid scheme. And it's a very simple test that you can make to find out the difference between a pyramid scheme or a legitimate network marketing business. A pyramid scheme, there is no product or service that is offered to the public in return for the money they pay. Number two, there is no regulatory body that regulates the industry. Number three, a pyramid scheme collapses between 6 to 18 months after it starts, and it's always the people who start the pyramid scheme are the ones who earn and disappear with people's money. A network marketing business, number one, there's a product or service that is offered to the public in exchange for the money they pay. Number two, our industry is regulated by the Direct Selling Association. Number three, this business, there's a product or a service, and the people who start are not necessarily the ones who make the highest income. The people who earn the highest income in our business are the people who work the hardest. Okay? Let me describe what our industry or our business is. Our business is a distribution business. If you go to traditional business and you talk to about a manufacturer manufactures products or service to take to the consumer, and between the manufacturer and the consumer, there is what we call middlemen, or people who do not add value to the product. They only take the product and keep adding a percentage, and it's paid by the consumer. For example, in 1988, a Mercedes 350 SE, which is manufactured in Germany, in Munich in Germany, would cost $30,000. But by the time this same Mercedes arrives in Denver, Colorado, the same Mercedes would cost you $65,000. And why is that? Because the research indicated between Munich and Denver, Colorado, there were 17 different middlemen who kept adding to the cost of the product. And who pays for it? The customer. In our business, what we do, we cut out the middleman between the manufacturer and the consumer, and in there stands a distributor like myself or some of my colleagues who are attending this presentation. All right? The other thing I would like to speak about is building wealth. I think everybody who is watching this presentation would like to build wealth. Not only build wealth, but build enough wealth to be able to secure a legacy or a future for their children. The first principle is, if you want to build wealth, you need to get involved in distribution of goods and services. Why? Because this is what people pay for. People don't pay for service or something which is a service or a product. The second thing, you need to have a global reach. See, Betty and I live here in Pretoria. If we opened a shop here in Pretoria where we live, only the people in Pretoria would be able to come buy our goods and services. But the nature of our business is, our company operates in over 50 countries around the world. That's why we have a global reach. The next thing is leverage. What is leverage? Leverage simply means that you are able to multiply your time, your efforts, and your money to increase your income earning potential. You and I have 24 hours a day. I assume you sleep at least 8 hours. You spend 2 to 3 hours eating or traveling and resting. The rest of the time you work to generate income. You see, if you depended only on your efforts to earn income, you'll never be wealthy. You need to build leverage to be able to be wealthy. The fourth thing about building wealth is you need to get involved in a consumable product. Why? Because it has a repeat sale. You see, you and I Until the day you die, you're going to use soap. Today you use soap, tomorrow you're going to use soap. So soap is a very good business. Why? Because it's consumable and people buy and use it every single day. Then you need a unique product and a high quality product. If those things are there, then you are increasing your chances of building a good business. And then you need a business system. What is a business system? A business system is when you devise procedures, tools, techniques, and equipment to be able to run your business even if you're not there. Okay? And the last thing is timing. For us in this business, the timing has never been better. Why? Because of the COVID-19. A lot of people have lost their jobs. People are frightened when they get infected. But from our experience, last week I was watching a video of two distributors in South Africa who got infected and recovered because they use our supplements. All right. So the timing of this business at this time in the world is perfect. Let us look at some information about the current situation worldwide. 150 million jobs are going to be lost worldwide. Why? Because of the COVID-19. What does that imply? It implies that people are looking for alternative ways to generate income. Okay? So they'll be looking at a business that does not require too much capital, that doesn't require building systems from scratch. You know, in South Africa, to start a business that will earn you $6,000 per month, you need to invest $150,000 and wait for at least 24 months to break even. For example, if you buy a McDonald's franchise, it will cost you roughly $150,000 to buy the franchise and the system to be able to at least earn $6,000 per month. And not everybody has 150,000 US dollars. But the information I found very astounding that the number one reason for businesses failure is people sell products or services that people don't need. I found this really unbelievable. Okay, so you need to provide products and services that people need, especially at this time. People don't have too much cash to splash around. They need to buy consumable products that every person needs and uses. Okay, I was reading the other day a report by one of the big banks in South Africa, which said 56% of middle-class families in South Africa, by the 5th day, all their salary is gone. And that's a frightening statistics. Okay? Now, let's look at Neolife. Neolife was started by Mr. Jerry Brasfield. When he was a teenager, Jerry Brasfield has very serious asthma, and his mother got him natural remedies. And as a result of that, he got better and decided to share these remedies with the rest of the world. Started his business at the age of 19. Why has Neolife survived for 62 years? Because we believe in the principles of absolute honesty and integrity. When we tell things to our customers, our distributors, we hold them to be true, and we hold our words to be sacrosanct. The second thing is we believe that people are number one. The most important resource we have in our business is people, our distributors, our customer, and the staff who work for the company. The third thing is products that work. Neolife spends considerable amount of money and effort to design and manufacture the highest quality of products. The fourth one is equal opportunity for everybody. This business, we don't care whether you're a CEO or you're a housewife or you're a tailor or you're a man or a woman, whether you are 70 or 18, everybody starts from the same level, and only your effort will be rewarded according to how hard you work. And you need to have a long-range vision. As I said earlier, this is a 2 to 5 year plan. It means for a period of 2 to 5 years, if you work consistently and effortlessly, not effortlessly, consistently and with a lot of effort, you're going to reap the benefits of your business. Neolife started in 1958 in the USA, came to South Africa in 1971, Kenya and Uganda, I think 1996, Tanzania the year after, and then they went to the rest of the African continent. Okay? That is a little background on the company of Neolife. Those are the countries where Neolife operates around the world. Now, some of you, today I was speaking to a friend of mine from a country, a town called Kisumu, and she was telling me she has children who are still going to school, and her wish was to be able to take them to good schools. So people start this business from different reasons. Some people it's because they want a better life for their children. Some want to build their dream houses. Some want to buy fancy cars. I know some people really love good cars. Some people want to buy a beach house. Some people want money. I think that earning good money is a good thing, because when you have money, you're able to fulfill some of your obligations to yourself and to your family. Betty and I don't apologize for wanting to make a lot of money, because when you make a lot of money, we're able to provide or to do good things for society. Some people join the business because they want to be physically fit. So if you start the business, this is our range of products. What products do Neolife manufacture? Neolife manufactures first home care products that people use to clean their homes. Okay. The next range of products are called personal care products, hair shampoos, hair conditioners, hand and body lotions. The third range is we call the nutrients organics, products specifically for the skin. And the fourth range of products is health and nutrition. Health and nutrition is the highest selling range of our products. Why? Because people realize that if your health is finished in life, your mission in life is finished. So people are very keen about health products, especially at this time of the COVID-19. Okay, so how does our business work? The first thing, when you start the business, you're going to register with the company as a distributor. And when you register, you buy the products from the company at a discount of roughly 20%. So what are the 3 daily things we do every day in our business? The first thing we do is we use the products ourselves. Why do we use the products? We use the products because of 2 reasons. One is we are supporting our own business. Number 2 is that we want to suggest or promote products to others that we ourselves use and believe in. Because it doesn't make sense to me that if you're starting a business, you want to recommend products to other people to use, but you don't use them yourself. It doesn't make sense to me. So we use the products ourselves. Now, because Neolife is registered in 50 different countries, the company designed a PV or a point value system to standardize the business size worldwide. All right. So, for example, one of the products we have in our business is called 3NN. Is a grain concentrate, and 60 capsules is 17 PV. So we recommend that in a month, you need to be able to use and sell 100 points in value. 100 points is roughly $100 in value. Okay, so we use 100 points. The second daily success habit that we engage in is sharing the business opportunity. What does that mean? That you introduce other people to be registered distributor like yourselves, and we teach them how to do 100 points. If you do 100 points and you introduce 6 people to do 100 points, you'll eventually generate 700 points. And 700 points will earn you roughly $45. Now, $45 is not a lot of money, although you can't pick $45 in the streets very easily. Okay? What do you do next? The next thing we do is we for example, if we teach the person on the top right corner to introduce 2 people, and each of those 2 people introduce 2 each, we'll have built a unit of 700 points. Now, if you build a unit of 700 points, plus the 600 points of the remaining people, you have built 1,300 PV, you become a senior manager, and your income is about $90 a month. It's getting a little bit better, but that is not the end. What we do is we teach all the 6 people that we introduce to the business to build 700 point units. If you do that, 700 times 6 gives you 4,200, plus your own 100 points is 4,300 PV, and you become a director, and your income is roughly 700, between $580 and $700. Sometimes it goes to $1,000, depending on the volume of your business. All right. But the other thing we share is we share the products. What does that mean? Sharing the product means that we retail products to people who are not interested in this business. Okay? Let me say you have customers who buy products from you. If you sell products to them, you make a profit of 20%. Why? Because they're not registered and they have to buy products through you. All right? The third thing we do in our business is personal development. What is personal development? That is, you take time to attend training, you take time to learn about the business, you read more information about the business, about yourself, about the product, so that you can become a very strong leader in the business. And that's what we mean by personal development. We have an organization called the Eagle Team. What does the Eagle Team do? The Eagle Team started in 1987 by Charlie and Alta Bolton. Their main purpose is not profit. Their main purpose is to develop tools, seminars, and training facilities to support distributors. Okay? So some of the training tools, videos, books, CDs, seminars helps us to become better distributors. That is what we mean by personal development. And because of technology, about 2 weeks ago, I enrolled to get information from the Eagle Team resource, and there is fantastic information in that resource. So some of you, I think, have already joined the Eagle Team Resource Center through Telegram. They have incredible information about the products and training. Okay. So before I go on, I would like to, no, before I call Paul to invite the next person, there are some people who are not satisfied with the $1,000. They want more. If you want to reach $1,000 plus, you need to develop directors in your group. If you develop one director, your income is about $1,000 plus. If you develop 3 directors, your income is about $2,000 or more. If you develop 6 directors, your income goes way beyond $5,000. You become a president's team members. That's when life really becomes exciting. So I'd like to hand over to Paul. I think he's got some people who want to share their experience with us about what has happened to them in the business.
Thank you so much, Pascal, for such a wonderful presentation and letting us know how Neolife is positioned to be able to help people across the world in terms of product and the Neolife opportunity. Yes, I have 2 people that I'm trying to unmute so that they can be able to share their story with us. Harrison Durithi, if you can hear me, please accept a message to be unmuted so that you can be able to speak to us. Harrison, can you hear me? Please accept the message to be unmuted. I'm trying to unmute you. Wow, it looks like I'm not able to unmute Harrison now, but I'll try the next person on the call today. Harrison, okay, I've been able to get the next presenter as I try to get Harrison to speak to us. And this is a lady who is a director in this opportunity. I don't want to share a lot about her story. She'll be able to tell us about herself. She's going to share, you know, her story in Neolife. Elizabeth Maingi, if you can hear me, please go ahead.
Yes, Paul, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you and I can see you very well. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Paul. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Paul and Pascal, for this opportunity to be able to share my story. I thank God for this opportunity also, for this particular time, allowing us to share the wonderful opportunity with many people out there. My name is Liz Mbulwa Maingi, and I joined this opportunity a while ago. That time I was about 25 years old, and a friend of mine who we used to work together in the same office is the one who shared with me the opportunity. He invited me for a meeting similar to what we have today, but now that was a physical meeting that we met. And I went there and I listened to a presentation to what Pascal has shared, but now it was a different presenter. After that meeting, I had realized that this is something that I really wanted to do. My only challenge was one. I was wondering, it was too good to be true. So I was wondering, is it true? So maybe there are guests here who are wondering, is it true? I'm here to tell you it is true. So one of the challenges that I was facing that time is that of money. My younger sister was in school. I used to pay part of her fee, do her entire shopping. So the little money that I used to get from my boss was not enough, because I used to earn 10,000. After deductions, I could remain with about 5,000. So that was not enough, not only for me, but also to support my extended family. So when this opportunity came to me, I thought I really wanted it for one major reason. Being young, I was healthy. I didn't think I really needed the supplements, but I had a challenge with my pocket. So I joined immediately, and I remember very well, one of the challenges that I had then was the money to join. I didn't have the money. But I remember that particular night, because it was an evening, I had 2,000. So I gave the 2,000, went and borrowed the difference, and I got started. So today, many things have happened to me. And one of the things that have happened to me, remember I joined because I wanted money. And I remember when I joined, after a short time, I became a manager. I got a small check of 375 Kenya shillings. That's about, is it $3, I think? Yeah, so I made, that was my first check. It excited me because, number one, it was in my name, and it gave me the believability that the business was real. Number two, when I became a senior manager, I got a check of 3,030. That was almost 10 times what I'd gotten as a manager. And I got very, very excited, and I was ready to do more. When I became a director, I got a check of 29,000. And that excited me because it was almost 10 times my senior manager bonus check. Not even counting the profit, because it was much, much more. Now I became very, very excited, and I was happy, and I knew that this is something that I really wanted to continue building. So that was just my major reason, which was number one, the money. Nevertheless, I was also not only able to change my life, but also the lives of many other people out there. So number two, I've been able to change people's lives out there. I'll just give a few examples, actually just two because of time. Number one, I have a lady, I think she's also in the call. If she's in the call this evening, kindly just wave from where you are. Her name is Celine Akinyi. Celine, they are partners with the mother, who is Petronila Akinyi also. They are partners. And I want to tell you, Celine is a very, very special lady to me, and also to many other people out there. Why? Because Celine, just like me, she's living with visual impairment. Yeah, people sometimes call blind, but as we prefer saying visual impairment. Apart from being visually impaired, she also has a challenge with balance. Nevertheless, that has not stopped her from doing this business. So she has been able to build this business. And I remember very well, this is very close to my heart. When she became a director, remember my check was 29,000 Kenya shillings. Hers was 75,000 Kenya shillings. It was amazing, amazing, amazing. When I count the profit, it was over 30,000. So that makes it 100 and something that she made in that particular month. So that really, as I said earlier, she's very special, because living with visual impairment and still able to build the business, for me, that is a plus. And then also, personally, my sight also started going down in 06 when I was expecting my son. And by 2013, it was irreversible. I went to Kenya Society for the Blind and started using a white cane and walking with a guide and all that. But remember, why am I saying all this? I'm telling us all this just to tell us that despite the fact that all those things happened, it did not discourage me. if anything, it gave me a reason to build the business more, because I don't want to go to the streets and start borrowing. You know, I know, you know, when I was growing, I thought that when somebody is visually impaired, the best that you can do is to become a beggar. But I realized you don't have to. You can work, and Neolife also gives us an opportunity to build the business and earn a living. So that is number two. The other thing, the other person that also I've been able to change, I have someone in my team who used to walk 10 kilometers just to move from one place to another, from town to the estate. Why? Because they did not have the fare. And today, the story is different. He does not only get into a matatu, but very soon he's buying, actually, he always tells me, Liz, I'm getting my first car. And the day, I am sure right now it is almost here. And when it comes, I will be glad to be given a ride, because remember, he used to walk because he didn't have fare. Sometimes he could have 20 shillings. So out of the 20 shillings, he preferred to just to eat and walk. But today the story is very different. That is number two. Number three, I've been able to enjoy lifestyle. You know, Neolife treats you well. It's one company that when you do the work, it will treat you very, very well. I've been to Intercontinental several times. I remember when I became an Emerald director, my upline, Fred Gishuki and Margaret, they took me to Intercontinental for dinner, and it was wonderful, wonderful. Neolife has also taken me to Intercontinental. I've sat with the president team members just on the same table, and that to me gave me believability, you know, and it was amazing, amazing. We were there with Janet Kanakulia, with Andrew, with many other world team and president team members at Intercontinental, all from East Africa. And it was wonderful. It was nice. You eat all types of food. You just sit with the rich and the famous, and it's wonderful. It was very, very good. So that is lifestyle, a bit of lifestyle, and I'm looking forward, even after all this COVID story is done, we're going to travel all over the world, and I can't wait. You know, I have my passport ready. Everything is just ready. My bags are ready, just waiting to be able to travel with Neolife. Now, number four, I've been able to make wonderful, wonderful friends in Neolife, and sometimes I joke a lot and say, sometimes I forget that I do not see. Why? Because of the friends that I have in Neolife. I've made wonderful, wonderful friends. I can't mention all their names. Wherever you are, I salute you, and I thank God for you. Now, last but not least is personal growth. I've been really able to grow as a person. I've been able to learn through the trainings. I remember I always joke and say, I remember my first meeting. I was told to teach about follow-up. So I defined follow-up, and I went and sat down. People clapped for me. I was encouraged because of the claps, but in my mind, I don't know, I was thinking, did I really do it right? But that was just a beginning. Today, the story is different. Even if you gave me a crowd of many people, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, I'll still be able to address them and talk to them, because of the personal growth that I've gotten from this opportunity. Also, because of the personal growth, I've been able to sit in committees at Kenya Society for the Blind, and also encourage people out there that losing sight is not the end of life. So how is my future? My future is bright, and I'm looking forward to build a house by using Neolife money, to drive my own car. Okay, I'm sure people are wondering, how will you drive and you're blind? I will be able to get a driver. No, money gives you options. Money gives you options. When you have money, my friend, you can be blind, get a car, get a Mercedes that Pascal tells us about, and you just simply, many people out there know how to drive, but they do not even, they don't have a car. Supposing I give them that job just to drive me around and tell them, I want to go to ICA, I want to go to Kisumu and build my business, I want to go to Kitale. We will go there as long as I have the logbook is in my name, I am fueling the car, and I am paying the driver. Isn't that exciting? So I'm looking forward to great things, and the future is very bright with Neolife. For our guests, as I close, if I can do it, my friends, you can do it better, faster, and even we are going to support you. God bless you. Thank you very much. Back to you, Paul.
Wow, thank you so much, Elizabeth Maingi. That's a wonderful story. Many people with such a challenge, they would just retire to the challenge and just look at life and say it's not worth it. But I just value your courage, the way you just do your things, the courage to continue building the business, even when you might not be able to go to so many places like the rest of us. It's just amazing. So I know many people have just been able to hear your story here and there. Today they've been able to see you. So that is Liz Maingi, very excited, and she'll travel. That one I'm sure, because of the courage and how she has been able to do her business. So Liz, thank you so much for taking time to be able to share with us. And she has given us a challenge. If
You're welcome,
she
Paul.
can be able to do it, you can be able to do it much better. Okay, I think now I got Harrison on the line. Harrison, briefly, please tell us your story so that we can be able to continue with our meeting.
Yeah, thank you very much. I had a technical issue from my side, but I'm okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my name is Harrison, as you have heard. And my story goes back to 2013. It's when I was introduced the opportunity by a customer of mine, because that time I was a hotel proprietor. Now he invited me to a meeting, which I didn't know what was going to be given to us. I went, sat down, and listened. At the onset, it seemed as if it was medical things. But at the end of the day, when they mentioned about money, because my issue was how to make an extra income, I decided to join the opportunity. And I joined on the spot. And my upline decided, my sponsor assured to support me in the business. So I worked out the business, and within 1 month, I was able to step up to a manager. And my first check was 4,228 Kenyan shillings. So I went back to my sponsor and I asked him, what can I do so that I can add this money? Because personally, I wanted money, and a lot of money, so urgently. What he advised me is that you become teachable, because in this business, the key thing is just to be teachable, so that you can be shown what to do. And he said that if you become teachable, within a few months, you shall be able to add a zero at the end of that check. Then it will read something to do with the 40,000. So I became so encouraged, and I started working out business, talking to friends. I started building business by bringing in people. I developed some distributors, managers under me. And within the 7th month, I became a director, and my first check was for 3,917, which served as an eye-opener to my business, and I was very much excited. When I was joining my business, my worry was how to educate my children. And when I earned that amount of money, I saw the light at the end of the tunnel, because I was able now to start paying school fees for my children without any strain, through or courtesy of this business. I continued, and within 1 year and a half, I became a award team director. And as a award team director, my first check was 7,000 Kenyan shillings and 120. And I was taken to Windsor Government Country Club Hotel for lifestyle, for leadership development retreats for 1 week. Thereafter, we were able to
Hi, Paul.
Sorry, Harrison, we can't hear you. I think Harrison is experiencing a technical itch, but he has been able to share about his story, not in full. Harrison, can you hear me? Sure, it looks like Pascal, we have lost Harrison. Maybe
Okay.
you can continue from there. We'll be able to listen to his story in full another time. Thank you so much, Liz, for sharing with us today.
Yeah, those are really very exciting stories. And every time I go to Nairobi and I meet Liz, I'm really inspired. You see, Liz may have lost her sight, but she hasn't lost her vision. And that is really a true demonstration that this business is an equal opportunity. Anybody who has the courage, the determination to succeed will succeed. And what has made this business special at this moment in time is that you can actually build these things from your home. For example, you have the following online services. One, you can order the products online. Two, you can register new distributors online. Three, when you start the business, the company creates for you your own back office that you can monitor and manage your whole business from your phone or from your laptop or from your desktop computer. Number four, you get training either local or international by Zoom or online services. I mean, there are people who have been attending our Zoom meetings from Scotland, Sweden, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, USA, from all over the world. Why? Because of technology. Number five, the company has contracted courier services to deliver products to doorstep. I mean, Betty and I can order products for our customers in Nairobi. If I order the products in the morning at 9 o'clock Kenya time, by 3 o'clock the same day, my customers in Nairobi have got their product. That's the power of technology of this business. Payments can be done online by either mobile transfer or electronic funds transfer. Bonus payments are also done online, either EFT or mobile transfer. So this business has really made, the company has really spent a considerable amount of time and investment to make sure this is truly a home-based business, that what you need is courage, the willingness to learn, and if you do those things, you know, this morning we had a directors meeting, and one of our top leaders from Nairobi, Judy Njeri, was telling us that, look, I had a phone, but it was not a touchscreen phone. I couldn't do so. When I was told that I need to do Zoom meetings, I couldn't. But eventually she learned. Now she's doing Zoom meetings herself. So this business, as long as you're willing to learn, you can reach any level of success that you want. The other thing that the company that I think Elizabeth said, they went to Intercon, and if you succeed, if you reach a certain level in this business, the company will fly you to really fantastic places. Last year, Betty and I were privileged to attend a Ruby Leadership School at the Santon Hotel in Johannesburg, and that shows you some of the room that looks like, the escalator, the place. We had really a fantastic time. You wake up in the morning, when you go to a training room, you find a bottle of aloe vera plus that you drink. At lunch, they replenish it. It was really a fantastic time. And this is because the company recognizes your leadership qualities because of the effort you've expended to build this business. Those are some of the leaders who attended the Ruby Orientation School in Johannesburg last year. So I hope some of you who are watching this presentation are going to join us in the next Ruby Orientation. I'm sure this COVID thing, they're going to lift the ban on international travel very soon, so that we can also have human-to-human contact in our business. So those of you who are guests, how do you get started? Speak to the person who invited you. They will ask you a few questions. One, does this business make sense to you? Number two, what did you like most about this business? Number three, do you see yourself succeeding or fulfilling your dreams in the business? If those are true, then you need to pay your registration fee. In South Africa, it costs you between $690 and $2,700, depending on the package that you want. In Kenya, is $6,820 or $8,340. In Nigeria, it's 22,500 naira. In Tanzania, is about 133,000 Tanzania shillings. In Uganda, is 196,000 Tanzania shillings. So speak to your person who invited you. They'll give you a form. They will guide you on how to start the business. And I hope that you remember the following. You see, if you keep doing what you've been doing before, you will get exactly the same results that you've been getting. Because, as they say, insanity is doing the same things and expecting a different result. If you want to earn money, if you change, and you do what other people are not willing to do, one day you'll be able to do what others will not do, because they haven't earned the income that you can do what they are not doing. So I thank you very much, all of you. If you're a guest, speak to the person who invited you. If you're a distributor, follow up with your guest so that you can get the business started. Thank you very much, all of you. God bless.
Thank you so much.
Paul, back to you.
Thank you so much, Pascal, for being our presenter today. As always, you have done an amazing job. And thank you so much, Liz, for sharing with us your story. And Harrison as well, although you did not finish your story, we'll be able to give you an opportunity in near future to be able to share with us. So from me, it's just to thank everyone who is on this call today. And just challenge you, just like Pascal has been able to tell us, if you're a guest, just take this opportunity. We'll be able to support you. We'll be able to walk the talk with you. If you're in Nairobi and especially now that it's open, you can always visit us. We're at JKUAT Towers, formerly ICA building, Kenyatta Avenue. We occupy the mezzanine floor. You can talk to the person who brought you to this call. They'll be able to bring you to the office, and you can be able to see where we are as an establishment. So from me, so thank you so much for joining us. On Wednesday, we are going to have a recognition for East Africa in the business building session. And our guest speaker is Rico Brown, together with our Vice President of Sales, Andrew Johnston. So make sure you mark that on your diary, and we can be able to come together and continue to share the opportunity. So from me, thank you so much. Have a good night. Pascal, thank you so much for being with us today. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye. Good night.